All right, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. To those scattered abroad, those lost sheep, and those strangers that should join with those lost sheep. Today I'm going to finish some parts of the serpent seed lesson. Does Satan have children? Biblical answer is 1000% yes. Right now on this part, we're going to talk about giants in the Bible, and we have already established the lineage that they came through. They came through the seed line of Cain, and that's in lesson 1 and 2. So we're just going to go into some detail of giants in the Bible. So without further ado, open up in a prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from Satan. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Hallelujah. All right. So everybody who has been checking out these lessons should already know the backstory of this. And it's going to start in Matthew chapter 15, verse 22 to 28. And I go here to establish something because this particular verse means something even more now. Because we get the context of the Canaan seed line. That's a pretty important matter to recognize and understand. So, without further ado, Matthew chapter 15, verse 22 to 28. And behold, a woman of Canaan. Okay, we understand this is where the devil's seed line regenerated, remanifested in. So this is very particular, that's why it's a wonderful thing to be in the spirit of YAH through Yahushua Mashiach, because he will show you certain things in the Old Testament to help you understand in the New Testament. Like, why wasn't it a Moabite, this person? Why wasn't it somebody from Japheth? Why wasn't it this person, this group of people? It specifically said Canaan. And as the scripture has shown, that this is a devil's seed line. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, Yahushua Mashiach, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. Okay? And one reason why these individuals could be as grieved as they are is because of their lineage. You have certain things, it's like a house. A well-built house is difficult for somebody to break into. But a house that is not well built and it was built without these certain specs and these certain codes that are required to establish a sound foundation in a house, if you don't have that, somebody's easily able to get into your house. That's why one of the means of Satan is to use Satan's children, that corrupt seed line, to get into. One moment this person is, fairly okay, and then the next moment, it's just full on like possessed. Why is Satan so easily able to get into them? Because they are a particular seed line, that Canaanite seed line. So that goes into another detail. That's how much important it is to be careful who you lie with, who you procreate with, who you marry, because you don't want Satan to have any type of advantages, Verse 23, but he answered her not a word. You hear that right there? Yahushua Mashiach fully understands who he's talking to. He's talking to a Canaanite seed line descendant, which we know that seed line is cursed. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us. Woo, that's some, show me in the Bible where somebody was crying after Yahushua HaMashiach And the disciples said, "Send them away." Why did the disciples say, "Send her away"? Perhaps they knew the whole thing about Canaan seed line, the cursed seed line. Verse 24. You see how important this stuff is about seed lines are? But he answered and said, "I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel." So this goes into a more deeper depth that this wasn't some common Gentile, some common heathen. This was a special individual from a special people, the Canaanites, which are a cursed people. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, "Lord, help me." Oh, very interesting. Now, we're about to see something right here that is very interesting. I remember I was listening to something a couple weeks ago, and somebody said something that I pondered on. After I read this, Matthew 15, I'm going to go to it. She worshipped him, okay? Verse 26, but he answered and said, "It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to the dogs." Now, this has opened up a whole new understanding of casting it to the dogs. Is this really referring to just simply Gentiles? Now, we know that Yahushua Mashiach officially came for the Hebrew Israelites, but is he calling the other Gentiles the dogs, quote unquote, or the specific seed line of Canaan? You okay? Verse 27. And she said, "Truth, Lord." So she understood what's going on. She probably understand her seed line descendants, the Canaanites. "Yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table." Wow. Now, what was the curse of Canaan? Now, we understand also, the devil's seed line came back through the Canaanites. But what was one of the curses of Canaan? That they would be a base people, a servant of servants, the lowest of lowest, right? Right now, she is fully embracing that understanding and saying that you're right, Yahushua Mashiach. I am the lowest of the lowest. I am a dog. But even the dogs eat the crumbs. You see that right there? This isn't about Gentile type of matter. Hebrew Israelites are better than Gentiles. This is talking about the cursed seed line of Canaan. Verse 28. Then Yahusha answered her and said unto her, "O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt." And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. Now, people be like, wow, you see that right there? They'll misunderstand that because they don't know the history of the Canaanites. You don't know why this was emphasized. And we're going to show you the magnificent, merciful, wonderful YAH through Yahushua Mashiach that he is. We're going to reference this with Genesis chapter 4 and 7. Okay? Genesis chapter 4, verse 7. Now, from the first lesson, we have, established, biblically that Cain was a unique seed line. Cain, from the biblical documentation, Cain was not Adam's son. So, since Cain was not Adam's son, who was Cain's parents? Lucifer. Whatever Lucifer did to Eve, Lucifer had her reproduce a child that was not of Yah. That's one of the behaviors, but were so drastically different. But we already went through that in part 1. But check this out. Now, Yah, knowing what Cain is in his mannerisms, okay? But nevertheless, the loving kindness of Yah. I mean, this takes, one's understanding of Yah love, even in a more complex state. Now, we know that Cain's heart was black. That's why the scriptures say you are your father the devil. He was a murderer from the beginning. Okay, like I was saying, that the love of Yah and one understanding of the love of Yah is about to take up a notch. And this is why. Because we know Cain was of the devil. Scripture says that. And that's why Yahushua Mashiach said, you are your father the devil. He was a murderer from the beginning. Talking about Cain. Because, Satan worked through that seed line. But that seed line was destroyed after the flood, and it came back in the lineage of Cain, going to the first second lesson of that. But Genesis chapter 4, verse 7. Now, we understand Cain is evil. Check out Yah's response, because Cain was upset that his sacrifice was not accepted. If thou, verse 6, verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth. Check that out. Cain was very wroth because Yah did not respect his sacrifice. Now there are some what can I say? Some interesting matters that said because Cain was not the seed line that could present a sacrifice to Yah. That's why his sacrifice was not accepted, because after thinking about that, because there are grain offerings, the Most High just does not accept. It does not just have to be a animal sacrifice. It could be a grain offering, just like the offerings in the Levitical priesthood, in Levi, Deuteronomy, Numbers, Exodus, etc., etc. And some of the offerings were grain offerings, but Cain's offering was not accepted. And I was checking something out, and it's if Cain, which Cain was not of Adam, was of the devil's seed line, that makes sense that his sacrifice was not accepted by Yah, because he was not he didn't come from the lineage that could do that. Just like the Levitical priesthood, the only people who could sacrifice and do that stuff was a specific lineage, and it was a specific lineage within the lineage of the 12 tribes of Israel. So if Yah changed not, perhaps that was the same matter with Cain and Abel. It kind of feels that way. But unto Cain, verse 5, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And El said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Let's check that out. I'm gonna pause this for a second. Okay, this is back in the Targum, Genesis chapter 4. Now, we read in Genesis chapter 4, verse 7 in the KJV, but check this out. In the Targum chapter 4, verse 7, If thou doest thy work well, will not thy guilt be forgiven thee? But if thou doest not thy work well in this world, thy sin is retained unto thee day of the great judgment. And at the doors of thine heart lieth thy sin. And into thine hand have I delivered the power over evil passion. And unto thee shall be the inclination thereof, that thou mayest have authority over it, to become righteous or to sin, to become evil or to sin. And we know, see the mercy here. Now, Cain was a devil child, and Yah gave Cain the opportunity. Nevertheless, whether Cain was destined to do it or not, Yah gave him the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? To ask for help or something. You know what I'm saying? To like turn a new leaf or something. But check out what Cain did. Verse 8. And Cain said to Abel, his brother, come and let us two go forth into the field. Check this out. This is deep right here. And let us two go forth into the field. And it was that when they two had gone forth into the field, Cain answered and said to Abel, I perceive that the world was created in goodness, but it is not governed or conducted according to the fruit of good works. Wow. For there is respect to persons in judgments. Check that out. Now, this clearer understanding that it's sounding clearer than the KJV. Now we can give an understanding, because Satan is like, well, you're a respecter of person. And Yah is letting it be known, I'm not a respecter of person. Yes, do I have favorites? Do I have people that that I go all out for? But if they sin, I'm not a respecter of person. Why leave the door open and try to get them to repent? Yeah. Wow. Just like Cain, the door was open right there. Therefore, it is that thine offering was accepted, and mine not accepted with goodwill. Abel answered and said to Cain, in goodness was the world created, and according to the fruit of good works it is governed. And there is no respect of person in judgment. You check that out. There is no respect of person in judgment. That's deep. Not saying that y'all ain't got favorite people. It's talking about in judgment, in the matters of sins. But because the fruits of my works were better than thine, look at that. My oblation before thine hath been accepted with good will. Check that out. Abel was rebuking him, man, or giving him some wisdom. Cain answered and said to Abel, there is neither judgment nor judge. Wow, this is much deeper than KJV. Nor another world, nor will good reward be given to the righteous. Look at that. This lines up so much in alignment with the ungodly, the way they think. Nothing's good. The scripture says, to the wicked, righteousness is nothing. It is neither good or evil. It is nothing. Wow. Nor vengeance be taken of the wicked. Wow. And Abel answered and said to Cain, there is a judgment, and there is a judge, and there is another world, and a good reward given to the righteous, and a vengeance taken of the wicked. And because of these words they had contention upon the face of the field. And Cain arose against Abel his brother, and drove a stone into his forehead and killed him. Wow. Deep right there. Deep. All right. I just want to touch on that. I was mainly touching on the loving kindness of YAH. You know, he tries. YAH get an A for trying, for sure. But now we see the level of the wicked seed line, because that seed line in Cain came back through the Canaanites. Canaanites. Getting it? Canaanites. Okay. That's some deep stuff right there. That's deep. That was deep. I like that. All right, now we're going to go to Genesis chapter 14, verse 5. And in the 14th year came the Chaldorlormor and the kings that were with him, and smote the Raphaims in Ashtaroth, Cornam, and the Zumzims in Ham, and the Emins in Sheva Korathaim. All right, let's check out some of these places. So we got a handful of shelves, the king of the Elam, defeated by Abraham, the Nephilim. Check this out. The Nephilim. Check it out. Check it out, everybody. What is it? Giants. Raphaim, old tribe of giants. I'm gonna show you, but all this stuff came through that evil seed line of Cain first, and then it remanifested after the flood through Canaanites. YAH destroyed them, but they came back. Wow, deep stuff. The giants. Just showing you in Ashtaroth. You know, that's that the whore. Anybody else? Asheron, 2 horns of peak. A double horn, double-minded, I don't know. Anybody else? Check them all, see what they are. Zim. What is this? An ancient people of uncertain origins, perhaps inhabitants of ancient Ammon, east of uncertain origins. Okay, Ham, we know Ham. He the one who kicked all this off. Terah. Means Terah. Ancient inhabitants of Moab. Not Moab, they inhabited Moab, just like Canaan inhabited the promised land. Wow. Look at this. They descended from the Canaan, and check out what they are. They're descendants from Canaan, right? And what does their name mean? Terah. Look at that. Devil seed line. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the next one is going to be Genesis chapter 15. I don't know if I was supposed to read all this, but I'll read it all. And after these things, the word of YAH came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. Now I'm going to read, okay, I'll just touch briefly on this part. I was reading a little bit in Genesis 15, but I'll just read from Genesis 15, 17 to 21, going back on that promised seed line and what they were to inherit. And it came to pass that when the sun went down, he was talking to Abraham, and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. In the same day, El made a covenant with Abraham, saying, see right here, and they go back to that lesson I did on vows. Y'all ain't come down with no paperwork or nothing like that. He used his paperwork was his word. Like y'all, many of y'all unhonorable. Y'all word mean nothing, but it means something. It might not mean nothing to you, but it means something to y'all, and you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna be blessed or get in trouble. In the same day, El, I'm not saying this to make fun of you, but repent if you're doing that. Live a better life. Live a good life. In the same day, El made a covenant with Abraham, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, the promised land, which Canaan stole, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river of Euphrates. This is our promised land. This is what was stolen from us. The Kenites and the Kenizzites and the Chemonites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Raphims, who are the Raphims, the giants, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Jebusites, and the Jebusites, who they come from, this bastard Cain. Okay, they stole the promised land, but getting back to the giants. Now we're gonna go to, let me find it. We're gonna go to Deuteronomy chapter 1. I'm going to read the full chapter. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on the side of Jordan in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hazaroth and the Zehab. There are 11-day journey from Herob by the way of Mount Seir unto Kadesh Barnea. And it came to pass in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Moses spake unto the children of Israel, according unto all. So we got 40 years, 11 months, and 1 day. 40, 11, 1. According unto the El, all that El has given him in commandment unto them. After he had slain Shaul, the king of the Amorites. Let's see who this is. King of Amorites, defeated by Moses. Warrior. Okay. Amorite, which dwelt in Heshbon. Now we're going to look, I'm going to make sure, because I'm trying to make sure I don't miss any key points in identifying any giants. And Og, I do think Og is a giant. Og. Yep. The Amorites, king of Bashan, and one of the last representatives of the giants of Raphim, one of the giants. The king of Bashan, which dwelt at Ashtaroth, that mother goddess nonsense. The fallen star. Really think about who Lucifer was, that fallen star. Huh? What did the giants worship? Ashtaroth. Mother goddess worship, which dwelt in Ashtaroth in Edrei, a goodly pasture. Okay. Continue, just making sure I identify people. On this side Jordan, in the land of Moab, began Moses to declare this law, saying, El our YAH spake unto us in Horeb, saying, Ye have dwelt long enough in this mount. Turn you and take your journey and go to the mount of Amorites and unto the place nigh there unto in the plain and the hills, and in the vale, and in the south, and by the seaside, to the land of the Canaanites, which is the real promised land, and unto Lebanon, unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Behold, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land, which El sware by what? By his word. In his word. Y'all don't need no paperwork for his word. You unhonorable people, y'all need to take some notes. How to be a godly person. How to be an honorable person with your words. If you don't want to make a vow, don't make it. But once you make it, honor it. Unto your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give unto them and their seed after them. And I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone. They were driving Moses crazy. Mad. Not mad in the mental health institution, but mad in the sense of anger. El YAH hath multiplied you, and behold, you are this day as the stars of heaven for multitude. El YAH of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you as he hath promised you. Look at that. Put an exclamation point. Y'all don't need no paperwork to establish his word. It's his word. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance and your burden and your strife? Take you wise men and understanding, and know among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you. And ye answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men, and made them heads over you, captains over 1,000, and captains over hundreds, and captains over 50, and captains over 10, and officers among your tribes. And I charged your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with you. So always be just, even with the Gentiles. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment. Wow, wasn't we just talking about that in Genesis chapter 4, verse 7, especially in the Targum? Because what was Cain's big problem? Oh man, you ain't just. That's what Cain's big problem was. Y'all is super just. Y'all is the epitome of just. He's not a respecter of person. Does he got a favorite people? Is he gonna feed his people first? But in judgment, but when it comes to judgment, ain't no, man, you reap what you sow in judgment. You better repent. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the faces of men, for the judgment is Yah's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. And I commanded you at that time all the things which ye should do. And when we departed from Horeb, we went through all that great and terrible wilderness, which ye saw by the way of the mountain of the Amorites, as El YAH commanded us. And we came to Kadesh Barnea, and I said unto you, ye are come unto the mount of Amorites, which El YAH doeth give unto us. Behold, El YAH have set the land before thee. Go up and possess it, as El YAH of your fathers hath said unto thee. Fear not, neither be discouraged. And ye came near unto me, every one of you, and said, we will send men before us, and they shall search us out the land, and bring us word again by what way we must go up. and into what cities we shall come. And the saying pleased me well. And I took 12 men of you, one of a tribe, and they turned and went up into the mountain, and came unto the valley of Ishkol. What does that mean, man? Might as well see what it means. Cluster. And searched it out. And they took the fruit of the land in their hands, and brought it down unto us, and brought us word again, and said, it is a good land, which our YAH doeth give us. Hallelujah. Notwithstanding, ye would not go up, but rebelled against the commandment of your YAH. And ye murmured in your tents, and said, because YAH hated us, he hath brought us forth out of the land of Egypt. Man, ain't that some ungrateful, boy? That's just that's some niggard stuff. That's in the Apocrypha in Ecclesiastes, a niggard. That's some niggard stuff right there. Yah took you out, brought you out of bondage, and you love it so much. You love being persecuted. You love it. I guess it's just one of them things you just love to be a hypochondriac. I think it's called a hypochondriac. Somebody who just love to be in an ill state. They just want to be, oh, look at me, oh, woe is me. Boy, these some ungrateful, oh man, that's a dang shame. Reading on. He hath brought us forth out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the hand of Amorites to destroy us. Whither shall we go up? Our brethren have discouraged our heart, saying, the people is greater and taller. The people is greater and taller than we. The cities are great and walled up to heaven. So check it out. Check it out here. The cities are great and tall, walled up to heaven. Now, this part of the lesson is about the giants. Who is making walls up to heaven, people? Think about it. And moreover, we have seen the sons of Anakims there. Who is that? Let's find out who that is. Let's find out. The long neck ones. A tribe. Check it out. A tribe of giants descended of Anak, which dwelled in southern Canaan. Check it out. Check it out. The long neck ones. Devils, corrupted seed line. The long neck people. And check this out. Let me Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 28. Let's check this out in Deuteronomy chapter 1. Why isn't it going? Go to the Septuagint right there. Why isn't it going? DEU 1. I'm gonna pause. All right, I don't know what was going on, but somehow Satan messing up the phone a little bit with that. Y'all rebuke that. But this is Septuagint. I just read it on my computer. This is Septuagint, Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 28. Whether do we go up, and your brethren drew away your heart, saying, it is a great nation, and populous, and mightier than we, and their cities great and walled up to heaven. Moreover, we saw there the sons of the giants, Anakims. The sons of the giants. Then said I unto you, dread not, neither be afraid of them. El your YAH, which goeth before you, he shall fight for you according to all that he did for you in Egypt before your eyes. And in the wilderness, where thou hast seen how that El thy YAH bare thee as a man doeth bear his son. Oh man, that's beautiful. In all the way that ye went until ye came into this place. Yet in this thing ye did not believe YAH, your El, who went in the way before you to search you out a place to pitch your tents. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. In fire by night, to show you by what way ye should go, and in a cloud by day. Look at that. Man, that's better than Google Maps right there, man. Like goodness. People want to be teleported someplace, but you gotta get the basics first before you get all into the all the other metaphysics type, going in portals and all this other stuff, man. Like, you gotta get the basics. Can you just follow the leader, And El heard the voices of your words and was wroth and swore, saying, surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see that good land which I swore to give unto your fathers. Look at that. That's another thing about them vows. Once y'all said it, he waited till every one of them, that evil generation, died before any of their children went to the promised land. He honors his vows, save Caleb, the son of Jehannah, he shall see it. Look at that, all praises. So even when y'all see the wicked, a multitude of wicked, he'll take one or two out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he loves seeing the righteous. He ain't gonna let the righteous perish with the wicked. He shall see it, and to him will I give the land that he had trodden upon, and to his children. Hallelujah. Because he hath wholly followed El. Woo, powerful stuff. Also, El was angry with me for your sake, saying, thou also shalt not go in thither, but Joshua, the son of Nun, but Yahshua, the son of Nun, deep stuff right there, which standeth before thee, he shall go in thither. Encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit. Ooh, that's deep right there. That's deep right there. That's a good thing, you know what I'm saying, with leadership and whatnot, even with a marriage, encouraging one another. That's some deep stuff right there. Don't be too harsh on one another, but that's why it's good to meditate on the word right there. That's deep. Encourage one another. He say encourage him. That's deep stuff right there. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna screenshot that. That's deep. Moreover, your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, and your children, which in that day had no knowledge between good and evil, they shall go in thither, and unto them will I give it, and they shall possess it. But as for you, turn you, and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Then ye answered and said unto me, we have sinned against YAH, and we will go up and fight according to all that El our YAH commanded us. And when ye had girded on every man his weapon of war, ye were ready to go up into the hill. And El said unto me, say unto them, go not up, neither fight, for I am not among you, lest ye be smitten before your enemies. Woo, even y'all like, hey man, don't go fight, don't go start no fight, because I ain't with you. And you gotta remember, look at your enemies. Your enemies was building up walls up to the heaven. That's some deep stuff, man. So I spake unto you, and ye would not hear, but rebelled against the commandment of El. free will, and went presumptuously up into the hill. Nigga, we flat out about to do this, man. We don't give a dang. We about to do this. Y'all say this, don't care. Like, and the Amorites which dwelt in that mountain came out against you and chased you as bees do. Woo! And destroyed you in Suri, even unto Hormah. And ye returned and wept before El, but El would not hearken unto your voice, because you presumptuously doing that wickedness, nor give ear unto you. So ye abode in Kadesh many days, according unto the days that ye abode there. Now the main part was again that verse 28. You know what I'm saying, just showing you what Moses was talking to him about the giants and whatnot. Okay, now we're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 2. Continue reading on. Okay, going back to Deuteronomy chapter 2, I had to read through it a little bit. But, Yah was just promising certain lands to the Hebrew Israelites and telling them, don't go, when you do pass through certain land, don't be up in here meddling and being a troublemaker or whatnot. But in verse 10 and 25, it reads, then the emis, how you pronounce that? Let me see. How you pronounce that? Start at verse 10.
The Emims dwelt therein in times past, a people great and...
Let me see. How you pronounce that? What's the appropriate way to pronounce that? Interesting. Now read. I just did it. Start 10.
The Emims dwelt therein in times past.
Sound like the Emmys. Like the Emmys. The Emmys. Let me check that out real quick. Let me pause this. Check this out, folks. The Emmys. Right? Emmy. Emmys. Check it out. Terrors and ancient inhabitants of Moabites. And when we look this up, hold on, I'm gonna go look it up. Before I do that, I'm gonna go to, and I'm gonna come back to this. Check this out. Check this out, folks. Let it load. So I just want to touch on this right here. So the Emmys, a gigantic and warlike race who in the time of Abraham occupied the country beyond the Jordan, afterwards possessed by the Moabites, because these devils came through the sea line of Canaan. That's how they remanifested. Moabites, Genesis stated have been earlier inhabitants of Moab, and Moab called them the Emmys. The Emmys. It sounds like enemy too. Enemy. Emmys. Emmy. Terror. An inhabitant of Moab. They weren't Moabites. They just occupied the land like Canaanites did. Now we go to also the Emmys. Emmys, fear, terror, formidable people, a tribe of or family of the gigantic stature which originally inhabited the region along the eastern side of the Dead Sea. They were related to the Anakim giants. Look at that, these bastards. But this is so, check out the name, the Emmys. Enemies. Check this out though. Emmys. The Emmy Awards. Wow. Deep stuff. What is it? A fallen angel Behold, I saw Lucifer again, Ashtaroth, who did the Nephilim worship. Ashtaroth, the queen of heaven. Who is this whore? That's a woman. The queen of heaven. The Emmys. Wow. Deep stuff. Wow. Emmys Organics. Wow. These devils, man. Wow. Wow. That's some deep stuff, man. I hope y'all understand how deep that is. That's deep. That's deep. All right. I just wanted to show that. Going on next. Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 10 on down to 25. And the Emmys, we know, devils, the giants, dwelt therein in times past, a people great and many and tall, as the Anakims, giants, Emmys, Anakims, giants, which also were accounted giants. Wow, deep stuff. Old tribe, Rephaim, as the Anakims, but Moabites called them Emmys, the Emmys. Wow, the Horma. Who is this? Who are these? Is this anybody? No, this ain't nobody. The Hurams also dwelt in Sari before time, but the children of Esau succeeded them when they had destroyed them from before them, and dwelt in their stead, as Israel did unto the land of his possession, which El gave unto him. Now rise up, said I, and get over to the brook of Zered. Zered, is that anybody? Is Zered anybody? I don't think so. I just said river, Moabite, and Edom, so it's okay. And we went over the brook of Zerad, and the space in which we came from Kadesh Barnea until we were come over the brook of Zered was 38 years, until all the generations of the warlike people, the Rephaim, the Emmys of the man of war were wasted out from among the hosts, as El swore unto them. The Emmys, Anakims, the Rephaim, the giant, the man of war. For indeed the head of El was against them. Against who? The Rephaim, the Nephilim. Because they're the seed of the devil, to destroy them from among the hosts. Because they were there, big, giant, long-necked bastards, until they were consumed. So it came to pass, when all the men of war were consumed, the Rephaim, the Nephilim, the Anakims, the giants, and dead from among the people, that El spake unto them, saying, Thou art to pass over there. Let's see what Ar is. A city in Moab. Okay. The coast of Moab this day. And when thou comest nigh over against the children of Ammon, distress them not. Don't bother them. You don't meddle with them, nor meddle with them. You only go in there for a specific purpose. Go for that only purpose. Don't go there starting trouble. For I will not give thee of the land of the children of Ammon any possession, because I have given it unto the children of Lot for a possession. Is this that also was accounted a land of giants. Giants dwelt therein in old time, and the Amorites called them Zamzumis. Got some more. Let's look this up too. Let's look this up. Can I copy it? I'm gonna just do this. Search. Web search. Y'all will pop up quickly. Deep stuff here. Deep. Okay, popped up. A biblical race of giants, a people that spake in buzzing, mumbling, or rumbling noise. Wow. You know what this reminds me of? Let's go to it. Revelations. A smoke pits. Let's go to Revelations. A smoke out of the pit. Come on, smoke pit. That should have. A smoke out of. Because I was. Yeah. A smoke pit. There we go. Bzzz. And he had opened the bottomless pit with Satan's children. Some of Satan's children are down there. And there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts, bzzz, a buzzing devil race, bzzz, of giants, mumbling and rumbling noise. You Negroes who playing around with YAH, guess who's coming for y'all? Ooh, boy, y'all don't, yeah. And it came a smoke, and unto them were given power. You don't want these people in power. That's what's coming back, in a, metaphorically speaking, in a sense. And there came out the smoke of locusts upon the earth, and upon them were given power, as scorpions of the earth have power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. Wow, deep stuff there, deep. I'm gonna let them rain a little bit for a season for you wicked people. Wow, interesting. Getting back to it, going back to Deuteronomy. Deep stuff right there. Zamzumis, devils, a people great and many and tall as the Anakims, but El destroyed them before them, and they succeeded them and dwelt in their stead. And as he did the children of Esau, which dwelt in Mount Siri, when he destroyed the Hermons, Horims from before them, they succeeded them and dwelt in their stead, even unto this day. And the Avims, which dwelt in Hazarim. I don't think Hazarim is anything. Settlement, village, Ishmaelites. Unto Azar, Philistines. That's a descendant of Canaan. To the Turams, which came forth out of the Capstor, destroyed them and dwelt in their stead. Rise ye up, and take your journey, and pass over the river of Arnon. Behold, I have given into thine hand Shahun, an Amorite, king of Heshbon, and his land. Began to possess it, and contend with him in battle. This day will I bring to put the dread of thee and the fear of thee upon the nations that are under the whole heavens, who shall hear report of thee and shall tremble and be anguished because of thee. Hallelujah. He's taking out giants and all this stuff. And this was in that Pacific regions, because when you go in the book of Joshua, he's like, there's still some regions of giants that need to be dealt with. But deep stuff right here, deep stuff. Now we're going to go to, do I go to Deuteronomy 3? Deuteronomy chapter 3. This establishes the giants, full out Nephilim bastards. Then we turn that seed line, that evil bastard seed line, still to this day. Then Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse 1. Then we turned and went up the way to Bashan, and Og. Who was Og again? Og was who? Who was this bastard? He was a Rephaim, a giant. the last known biblical representations of the Rephaim, the giants, the bastards, and the king of Bashan came out against. So I was reading that real quick, just the giants, he was the king over there. That people. Now I'm going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 9. Deuteronomy chapter 9. Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 2, I think it's called. Okay. A people great and tall, there go them bastard devils, the children of the Anakims, there these bastards go, Anakims, long-necked giants, stiff-necked bastards, whom thou knowest and of whom thou hast heard, say, who can stand before the children of Anak. Or only if YAH be with you. Progenitor of a family or a tribe of giant people in Canaan, and they were from the line of Canaan, bastards. That's who the seed line came back through, the Canaanites. Okay, now going to the next one. Let me find it. Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse 13. I don't know if I touched on Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse 13, but just in case. And the rest of Gilead and all Bashan, being the kingdom of Og. There go that giant bastard king. There you go. The long neck one. King of the giants, bastard. Give I unto the half tribe of the Manasseh, all the region of Argob. Was Argob, king of the office, heap of clouds. Oh no. With all Bashan, which was called the land of the giants. There we go again. Okay. Numbers chapter 13. Numbers 13, 32 to 33 reads, and they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel. Moses spoke about that, saying, the land through which we have gone to search, it is the land eaten up the inhabitants, because they were eating people too. Therefore, in all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature, and there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which came of the giants, and we were in our own sights as grasshoppers, and we were in their sight. Now, some people are like, oh, they were just 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall. No. These bastards were huge. You got to remember, they were also building up walls up to heaven, to the heavens. Okay. An average man, about 5'10", 3 more feet, what I'm saying? You're not like a grasshopper. You know what I'm saying? When you use the word grasshopper, you're talking about something is much larger than you. You know what I'm saying? So in some accounts, even go into the, in the 15-foot range, in the 20-foot range, big, because they ate of all the inhabitants of the planet. So especially of that region. Now we're gonna go to. Let me find it. Going to go to, where is it? I'm going to pause it. Numbers chapter 32. Now these bastard sea lion is still here today. And it's, downgraded, but that sea lion is still here today. Numbers chapter 32, 39. 32, 39. And the children of Machar, the sons of the Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it and disposed the Amorites which were in it. Let me see. this the right one? 39. So, sons of, and a powerful chief one. Is this the one? Numbers 32, 39. Or was it? That might be an accidental one. Joshua. Chapter 12, verse 4. In the coast of Og, that giant bastard, which was of the remnant of the giants that dwelt in Ashtaroth, mother goddess worship, and at Idri. Now we're going to go to 13:12. And the king of Og and Bashan reigned in Ashtaroth and Enri, who remained of the remnant of the giants, for these did Moses smite and cast them out. So there was a remnant still there, even to this day. And that seed line has remanifested itself into, people. That's the double seed line, 15, and we'll talk about that in the next lesson, how that manifests. Also, but we're talking about this full-out giants in this lesson, this full-out, fee-fi-fo, I smell the blood of a man, devils. And the border went up. This is Joshua chapter 15, verse 8. And the borders went up by the valley of the sons of Hinnom. Who is this? Lamentation, separating mounts. Nothing right there. Unto the south side of Jebusat, the same is Jerusalem, and the border went up into the top of the mountain that lie before the valley of Himmelwasset, which is at the end of the valley of the giants. Valley of the giants. So Joshua and Moses was out there fighting giants. Forget this man. We got bigger problems than the average man. We're talking about children of the devil for real. So that's why I should say we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spirits, principle of high places, etc., etc. 17, verse 15. And Joshua answered them, If thou be a great people, then get thee up to the wood country, and cut down for thyself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the giants, if Mount Ephraim be too narrow for thee. The giants, the land of the giants, 18:16, disestablishing giants. And the border came down to the end of the mountain that lieth before the valley of the son of Hinnom, and which is in the valley of the giants on the north, and descended to the valley of Hinnom to the side of Jebushi. What is this? Jebushi, descendants of Jebush, a third son of Canaan, a devil race who lived in or around the site of Jebush, the early name of Jerusalem, Jebush, on the side, and the descendants of Enrogil. Let's see what that means. Front of the Fuller, a place near Jerusalem. So okay. Now going to the next one. The next one is, let me find it. I know it's here somewhere. Joshua chapter 14 it is. I think I already went to Joshua chapter 14. But just to make sure. Joshua chapter 14, verse 12 to 15. 12 and 15. Now therefore give me the mountain wherefore El spake in the day, for thou heardest in that day how the Anakims, the devil-raised giants, were there, and that the cities were great and fenced to the walls of heaven. If so be El will be with us. Like he told you, if he go before you, everything dead. And that's why he told, don't go meddling in the Moabites and with Esau, because I'm not with you. I'm not telling you to go do that. So do what I say, and I'm with you. With me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as El said. Verse 15. And to make sure this is verse 15. And the name of Hebron before it was Kirjath Arba. And what does that mean? Early name of the city, which after conquest was called Hebron. Okay. Which Arba was a great man among the Anakims, and the land had rest from war. These bastards. Okay, going next. Going to go to 2 Samuel, because this double race was never completely destroyed. It was like Zion would go to a land and go to a region, conquered, and then Joshua, he passed on, and they still had things to do, but he left the foundation for them to win, and they turned back from that. So that allowed that seed line to still continue and thrive, even still to this day. 18 to 22. All right, reads. The Philistines also came and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim, the Nephilims, the giants, these long-necked bastards. And David inquired of El, saying, Shall I go up to the Philistines? Wilt thou deliver them into mine hands? And El said unto David, Go up, for I will doubtless. Woo! You hear that? He said, doubtless deliver the Philistines, and these come from the Canaanite sea line, into thine hand. And David came to Baal. Let's see what that Baal Perazim, Lord of the breaks. The site of victory of David, Philistines. Okay. And David smote them there, these giant bastard Nephilims, and said, El hath broken forth upon mine enemies. The enemies, check that out. Enemies before me as the breach of waters. Therefore he called the name of the place Baal Perazim, breaks. What is he talking about? Lord of breaks. Ooh, Lord of breaks. Break me in pieces. And there they left their images, and David and his men burnt them. Hallelujah, because they worship Astaroth. These Nephilim bastards worship Astaroth, the queen of heaven. And the Philistines came up yet again and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim. They came back. Why did they do that? Because they are that Canaan seed line of devils. 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 13. And 3 of the 30 chief went down and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam. What's that? Adullam. What is this? Justice of the people, a town of the Canaanites allotted to Judah and lying in the lowland. Okay. And the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. They love their giants. Okay. 1 Chronicles 11, verse 15 and 23. First Chronicles 11, 15 and verse 23. Now 3 of the 30 captains went down to the rock to David into the cave of Adullam, and the host of the Philistines encamped in the valley of Rephaim. They love that place with the bastard giants. And he slew an Egyptian, a man of great stature, 5 cubits, high. What's a cubit? What's a cubit? A cubit. Cubit, a measure of distance, roughly 18 inches. There are several cubits used in the Old Testament. The cubit of a man, common in Deuteronomy. The legal cubit plus let's look up the cubit of a man. And this was in Deuteronomy verse 3 and 11. 3 and 11. It says, remnant giants, behold, iron plate, 9 cubits was the length thereof, and 4 cubits. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to, that's Deuteronomy, what is it? Deuteronomy chapter 3. Okay, getting to the cubics, because I'm not too familiar with that, but the New Living Translation, his bed was made of iron and was more than 13 feet long and 6 feet wide. Wow. Yep, that's it. Okay. So his bed was 13 feet tall. Check that out. Let me see if any more say anything. 9 cubics. $13.5 feet, 6 feet wide. Almost 14 feet in the Good News Translation. Let me go Septuagint. Let me see what they say. If it's in cubits, I don't. The length of it, 9 cubics. But, roughly about 13 feet bed. It's a 13-foot bed. All right, let me go to back to 1 Chronicles 15, I believe it was. Or was it? He slew Egyptian, 23, and he was 5 cubits. Okay, 1 Chronicles 11:23. 1 Chronicles 11. Come on. 11:23. Come on. Chronicles 11. I'm gonna pause this. All right, going back to this, the Egyptian warrior, 5 cubics, 7.5 feet tall. Now, usually a person's bed, going back to that, I think it was in the Deuteronomy 3:11. Usually a person's bed is roughly about a foot taller than them, roughly. So if the bed was 13 feet, he was probably a good 12 or 11 feet tall. So one says 7.5, 5 cubics. I'm looking for feet. 7 feet. 7 feet tall. 5 inches. Okay. That's a second, So he's about 7 feet, a little over 7 feet tall. Okay. Going back. And now we're going to go to 1 Chronicles 14:9. Shoot, I tell you one place where a lot of these Nephilim sea lions is at. You know where a lot of them at? Right here. This is where a lot of them at, right here. This is where a lot of their offspring went. And who? Do not the NBA players are worshipped like gods, made to be idols. I'm telling you, man, this sea lion stuff is very important. Zion was not known for being tall. So just because you got some darker skin don't mean you Zion. I tell you right now, this is abnormal. Look, I got another one, and it goes beyond race. You know, at certain ethnicities, the sea lion, they everywhere. They in Moab, they in Asians, they in Mexicans, they're in Negroes, they're in Caucasians. That sea lion has mingled with everybody. All these 7-foot players and all this stuff being worshipped like gods too, being praised like gods too. Okay, so I want to point that out right there. But First Chronicles 14:9, and the Philistines came and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim. They love that place. Now we're gonna go to, I missed one in 2 Samuel. I'm gonna go to 2 Samuel chapter 21, verse 16. And Ishbi-Benob, which was of the sons of the giants. More giant bastards. His dwelling is in Nob, one of the nations of Philistine giants. The Philistines came from that Canaan sea line of bastards. The weight of whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, he being girded with a sword, thought to have slain David. Let's go to that 2 Samuel 21. Ain't nobody else walking around with these type of weapons, and that is 2 Sam 21:16. Okay, go right to it. Come on, load. Where it go? Right here. Let's check out the weight of this weapon. Let's see how heavy this weapon was. Why did it take me there? Wait till I load. Come on. And I think it's called this right here. Par. Yeah, that's it. How much did the weapon weigh? Shekels, pounds. More than 7 pounds. And it was a descendant of the giants. His bronze spearhead. A spearhead weighed more than 7 pounds. That's it. I mean, because a spearhead weight. Because a spearhead weight is probably around a half a pound. So, yeah, okay. Get another weight. Pounds. 8 pounds. Because a spear, because look up a spearhead, and to see that's a huge difference though. Because a spearhead is only about like half a pound, and to be 7 pounds, let's go 8 pounds. See if anything pop up. Go to images. Because a spearhead, spearheads are very, 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 very light. They're not supposed to be heavy. Nevertheless, it was not common that spearheads would weigh that much. But going on, because obviously if the being was larger, the weapons would have to be larger. They couldn't have normal sized weapons. But going on, where is it? 16. First Chronicles, right here, verse 20. Oh, I was supposed to read the rest of this to 20 to 22. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm glad. All praises. All right, and Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, scored him and smote the Philistine and killed him. Then the man of David swore unto him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel. And it came to pass after this that there was again a battle with the Philistines at Gob. The Shebichi, the Hujjathite, slew Soph, which was of the sons of the giants. Okay, let's check out some of these people who are Gob, a place where the source. That ain't nothing. Okay, who are you? Weaver, one of David's guards. Okay. Hushai, inhabitants of Hushai. David, mighty warriors. Slew South. Who is this? Tall, one of the sons of the Philistines. Giants. These tall giant devils. This is not common in Zion to have all these tall people, all these people in the NBA, all these 7 foot, 8 foot people. These people DNA they got some weird DNA. Their DNA is not what is common known in Zion. And there was again a battle in Gob, the Philistines, where Elhana, let's see who that is. Elhana, God has gracious doodles. The son of Joram, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath, the Gitti, belonging of Gath, an inhabitant of Gath, the staff of whose spear was like the weaver's beam. Now, what does that mean? We have to look that up. 2 Samuel 21:19. 2 Samuel 21:19. Weaver's beam. Look into this. What is Weaver's beam? Weaver's beam had a shaft as thick as the bar of Weaver's spoon. Alright, let's look it up. Weaver's beam. And they got an exclamation point on that one. Weaver's beam. Okay. Check it out. Is that a weaver's beam? Wow. So clearly, obviously, the bigger they are, the larger their weapons would be. A weaver's beam? Interesting. Alright. Get the point of it. Finish this up. Weaver's beam. And there was yet a battle in Gath where was a man of great stature that had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes. That Canaanite devil seed line, 24 in number. And he also was born to the giants. And when he defied Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shemiah, the brother of David, slew him. These 4 were born of the giants in Gath and fell by the hand of David. Hallelujah. By the hand of his servants. Hallelujah. Giant killers.